I have been on a horrible reading slump. However, I find myself reading and rereading and rereading and then rereading again and rereading just one more time and then rereading until I can't say the goddamn word, rereading the same poem. It's a Portuguese poem. It's by the author José Régio, and the poem is named Cântico Negro. And it's just... And I kind of want to read it for you today, so I'm going to record it, but then if it turns out to be shit, I will cut it out. Vem por aqui. Dizem-me alguns com olhos doces, estendendo-me os braços e seguros de que seria bom que eu os ouvisse. Quando me dizem, vem por aqui. Eu olho-os com olhos laços, há nos meus olhos ironias e cansaços, e cruzo os braços e nunca vou por ali. A minha glória é esta, criar desumanidade, não acompanhar ninguém, que eu vivo com o mesmo sem vontade com que rasguei o ventre da minha mãe. Sorry, I'm getting excited. Não vou por aí. Só vou por onde me levam meus próprios passos. Se ao que busco saber nenhum de vós responde, porque me repetis, vem por aqui. Prefiro escorregar nos becos lamacentos, redemoinhar aos ventos como farrapos, arrastar os pés sangrentos a ir por aí. Se vim ao mundo foi só para desflorar florestas virgens e desenhar meus próprios pés na areia inexplorada. O mais que faço não vale nada. Como, pois, sereis vós que me dareis impulsos, ferramentas e coragem para eu derrubar os meus obstáculos? Corre nas vossas veias sangue velho dos avós, e vós amais o que é fácil. Eu amo longe a miragem, amo os abismos, as torrentes, os desertos. Ide, tendes estradas, tendes jardins, tendes canteiros, tendes pátrias, tendes tetos, e tendes regras e tratados e filósofos e sábios. Eu tenho a minha loucura, levanto-a como um facho a arder na noite escura, e sinto espuma e sangue e cânticos nos lábios. Deus e o diabo é que me guiam, mais ninguém. Todos tiveram pai, todos tiveram mãe. Mas eu, que nunca principio nem acabo, nasci do amor que há entre Deus e o diabo. Que ninguém me dê piedosas intenções, ninguém me peça definições, ninguém me diga, vem por aqui. A minha vida é um vendaval que se soltou. É uma onda que se levantou, é um átomo a mais que se animou. Não sei por onde vou, não sei para onde vou, sei que não vou por aí. And that was a dramatic reading of the poem. Now I'm going to try to translate the goddamn meaning for you. And I know what you're wondering, girl, have you been reading it like that the whole time? Even worse. Even worse, I've been screaming it the whole time, okay? I need you to understand the that I feel for this poem. And so the poem starts with this quote-unquote sentence, which is basically someone saying this to the poet. And they say to him, come this way. And he describes the person who tell him this as a very sweet person who provides safety for him, as a very alluring promise. Come this way. I'll tell you where to go. This is the safest route. You can trust me. You'll be safe for the rest of your life if you come with me. And the poet is tired as shit, exhausted by this fucking life. So what the baby boy does is cross his arms, look these fuckers in the face and say, fuck you, I won't go that way. I'll go my own fucking way. Thank you very fucking much. And then he says, my glory is this one, to create, I don't even know how to say this in fucking English, desumanidade. Humanity. I think what he means with this, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know shit about poetry apparently. Maybe what he means is like, you know when they say art is supposed to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed? What he means with criar desumanidade, create unhumanity, is like to disturb the comfortable, to disturb the comfortable humanity, you know, on the planet. So this is his glory, to disturb the comfortable and not follow anyone. Go his own way. And then he says, because I live with the same vontade, is like unwillingness, with which I tore apart my mother's womb. It's like, I didn't even want to fucking be born. I'm not gonna follow you any fucking where. If I have to be here, I'm gonna be here on my own fucking terms, is what he's saying. So in the next stanza, he says, no, I'm not going that way. Assholes. I only go where my steps take me. Just so you know, assholes. And then he says, and by the way, if what I'm trying to understand, none of you have a fucking answer to, why do you keep telling me to go the same way you are going if I know my answers are not there? Assholes. And then he says, I would rather trip and fall through muddy little corners of the world. I would rather dance with the winds, not dance, like swirl with the winds. I would rather, like an old rag, I would rather drag my bloody feet than go that way with you. Assholes. This is a very dramatic explanation of the poem, okay? I promise the poem is very beautiful. It's not like what I'm saying. It's like I'm telling you the vibe, but the poem is incredibly beautiful. If you find a translation of it, please actually, I will put it here if I find a translation of it. And then he says, this is a little weird, but this was in a different time. I think this was like in the 1920s. Actually, let me check. Yeah, this is 1925. So he says this. If I came to the world, it was to deflorestate, virgin florists. Not virgin florists, my god, virgin forests. Basically, he means that he's going to, walk the paths that no one has walked before. And to draw my own feet in the unexplored sand. Anything else that I do is worth absolutely nothing. He's basically saying, I'm not going to go your fucking way. I'm going to go my fucking way. And I'm going to go my fucking way through a way no one has ever been before. And anything else I do apart from that means fuck all. Assholes. The way that YouTube is going to restrict my video for saying fuck so many times. Anyway. And then he turns to his assholes who are trying to tell him that he should go their safe, known way. He says, how in the fuck are you going to give me the impulse, the tools, the courage to take down my obstacles? How are you going to do that? You have the oldest goddamn blood. You have the blood of your grandparents because you think with your heads and not your own. He says, you love what is easy. I love which is far away. I love the mirage. I don't know if there's a word in English for this, but it's miragem. I love the abismos. I love the abyss, the currents, the deserts. They love what is tiny and known and has been repeated over generations. He loves the vastness of the world. And then he says, go. You have roads, you have gardens, you have flowers, you have nations, you have ceilings, you have rules, you have treaties, philosophers, wise people. I only have my madness. And I pick her up like a light in the dark night. And I feel the foam and the blood and the songs on my lips. He's basically telling them, go your own way, go through your beautiful little paved roads with all the knowledge that you have already acquired from those who acquired it for you. Go your own way, because I will dance in the songs of the poems I create. That's what I read anyway. And then this is the most amazing line. Like when I read this the first time, I was like, oh my god. Because this poet, I mean, if you saw this guy's house, you would be gooped and gagged on the floor, traumatized for life. Because this guy has two houses. He was born in a place and then he lived most of his life in another place. And these two houses that he had, one he inherited from his family and the other one he bought. They are like museum houses now, so you can visit them. And one of them is kind of far away from me because it's in the south, but the other one is very close by and I've been to it a couple of times. And it's goddamn... I will put images here so you can understand the torture that this guy had inside his head. And then he says this thing, the God and the devil guide me, no one else. Everyone had a father, everyone had a mother. But I, who never begins or ends, I was born of the love that exists between God and the devil. And it's like, I mean, I'm in English, it's horrible, and I'm doing a horrible translation, but this is like literally one of the most beautiful stanzas I've read in Portuguese ever. It hits so goddamn well, because he's saying, I love this man so much. Maybe I'm like interpreting this wrong. I don't know. I never had classes on this. This is what I read from the stanza. It's like, I don't have beginning or end. Like, my soul is so vast that it can contain that sort of love that punishes and hurts. And I don't know if I'm explaining this in any good way, but anyway, this is what I feel when I read it, I guess. And then he concludes. He says all this shit to these assholes who try to tell him that he should, follow the traditional route of what everyone else does. And then he concludes, and then he says, I don't want to see anyone giving me their pious intentions, okay? I don't want anyone to ask me for definitions of who I am, because I don't fucking know either. I mean, he doesn't say I don't fucking know either. He just says I don't want anyone to ask me for definitions. I added the second part, okay? Leave me alone. No one tell me, come this way. My life is a vendaval. It's like a windstorm that has released itself. It is a wave that has taken flight. I don't know if I'm translating this well. Anyway, it's an atom more that was animated. I'm not translating this well. I don't know how I'm going there. I don't know where I'm going, but I know for fucking sure I'm not going that way. Fuckers. And this is the poem I've been rereading to myself almost every fucking day. Because a girl needs it. And did I do a good explanation of the poem? Fuck no. I told you what I feel when I read it, but you should read it. Like, this is probably top 3 favorite poems of all time for me. I love this poem so much. I mean, it's such a good poem that the goddamn name of the poem is the name of the goddamn book. Okay, it's the poem, and yeah, I need it often because somehow I had the stupid little annoying fucking courage to decide to do with my life whatever the fuck I want to do with my life and not follow what everyone else is doing. I've never met anyone who's doing what I'm doing, and it's scary as fucking shit, and I will make it or die.